Newcastle's transfer strategy has completely changed. From exclusive information straight from Dan Ashworth, revealing that Newcastle has already found the perfect replacement for Tonali.
Wow.
And guess what?
What?
Eddie Howe is a massive fan.
That's pretty good.
To Newcastle readying third approach for French striker. To Newcastle United going into a fierce battle with Tottenham for the signature of a prolific winger. To a twist of fate.
I don't like where this is going.
As it was a nightmare for Bruno Guimaraes on his 26th birthday.
Huh?
So stay tuned as we unravel the secrets, the battles, the unexpected turns that await us in the world of Newcastle United. And remember to hit that subscribe button.
Let's go.
Starting off, there have been discussions surrounding Newcastle United's search for a short-term replacement for the banned Sandro Tonali, with the January transfer window approaching. While loan moves for Ruben Neves and Calvin Phillips are being considered, comments from Dan Ashworth and Eddie Howe suggest that the club may have already found a capable replacement in Lewis Miley. Miley, a 17-year-old player, made his first Premier League start for Newcastle United in their recent match against Bournemouth and was considered their best outfield player. He also showcased confidence and composure when coming off the bench in the 2-0 defeat against Borussia Dortmund. When asked about the Tonali situation and Newcastle's search for a solution, Ashworth said to the press, "We've got a number of things we can do. It might not be a like-for-like replacement for Sandro. It could be a player who can play in a different position or multiple positions. It could be that young Lewis Miley gets more minutes and comes to the fore over the coming weeks. We might look in a different area of the pitch, but obviously it is a blow losing Sandro. He was one of our big signings in a key area of the pitch. He was going to be one of our most influential players, so we have to do everything in our power to make sure the squad is as competitive as possible going into the second half of the season. We do have a little bit of flexibility, and we are able to look at the market, but there are lots of ways to do it." Eddie Howe has also hailed the teenager.
Are you sure about that?
Having this to say in an interview with Sky Sports last week, saying,
"Yeah, he's a big talent. Very calm, composed for such a young player. You wouldn't know that he's still 17 in the way that he conducts himself, in the way that he acts. He acts like a senior pro. Yeah, he's really composed, very good technically, good athlete, good size. He has a little bit of everything. We really like him. I'm reluctant to put too much pressure on him at such an early stage in his career, but the signs look very good."
The last line suggests Howe may opt against putting too much responsibility on Miley over the second half of the season, but if Newcastle are blocked from signing Neves on loan and can't agree a loan deal with Man City's Calvin Phillips, they might just settle on Bruno, Jolinton, Willock, Longstaff, Anderson, and Miley and strengthen elsewhere. Speaking of looking elsewhere, according to 90 Minutes, both Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United are considering a move for winger Jota from Al Ittihad in the upcoming January transfer window. Jota joined Al Ittihad from Celtic in July for a fee of £25 million, but his appearances have been limited due to being unregistered for domestic action. While he has played in 2 AFC Champions League games, his last Saudi Pro League match was on September 1st before squads were finalized for the 2023-24 season. In early October, it was reported that Jota was hoping to be released from his Al Ittihad contract to make an immediate return to Europe. However, it is unlikely that his wish will be granted at this stage. Despite this, Jota is expected to have suitors in the winter transfer window. Sources indicate that Tottenham Hotspur has shown interest in Jota, as they are prioritizing the signing of a new winger in January, along with another defender. Players such as Bournemouth's Lloyd Kelly and Everton's Ben Godfrey are also on their radar. While Tottenham initially considered the possibility of signing Jota on a free transfer if his contract was terminated, they are still open to a deal if Al Ittihad's asking price is reasonable and not prohibitive. Newcastle United is also in search of a new winger. Interestingly, both Newcastle and Al Ittihad are owned by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, which could potentially facilitate the transfer process. However, the Premier League is expected to pass a motion preventing clubs from signing players on loan from affiliated sides, which could affect Newcastle's plans. Newcastle's pursuit of a new wide forward comes as Jacob Murphy and summer signing Harvey Barnes are sidelined with long-term injuries, and Miguel Almiron sustained a hamstring problem before the international break. While they consider turning to the market, sources suggest that Newcastle might recall 19-year-old Yankuba Minteh from Feyenoord, given his excellent start to the season. Nevertheless, the club is cautious about hindering his progress and would prefer him to remain at Kip until the end of the season. Speaking about the possibility of bringing back Minteh earlier this month, Newcastle manager Eddie Howe said, "We'll look at our players that are out on loan with a view to whether they could potentially strengthen us. If it's good for their career as well, then we'll certainly look at what we can do." He has done very well, although unfortunately he's injured at the moment. He's come back for an assessment on that injury because we need to check and see how he is. We need to work out how serious the injury is and when he'll be back, and then we'll make a decision on him, like we would with all our loan players. Then moving on, Newcastle United is reportedly preparing to make a move for Hugo Ekitike following their last approaches for the player. Ekitike, a 21-year-old forward, joined PSG on an initial loan deal with an obligation to make the move permanent for €35 million in the summer. However, his time at the French club has not gone as expected, with limited game time and only one substitute appearance so far this season. It became clear to Ekitike after last season that he was not a key part of PSG's first team. While Ekitike had the opportunity to leave PSG in the summer, he chose to stay and fight for his place. The club even attempted to include him in a part exchange deal to sign Randall Kolo Muani from Eintracht Frankfurt. However, after being left out of the matchday squad since August, Ekitike has now decided to part ways with the club in the upcoming winter transfer window. Newcastle United has shown interest in Ekitike's services before, having made a bid of €40 million in 2022 to sign him from Stade Reims, although they were unsuccessful at the time. However, the Magpies remain keen on the young French international and see him as a potential addition to bolster their attacking options, particularly with Callum Wilson's recent injury setback. According to Graham Bailey of 90 Minutes, a loan move appears to be the most likely outcome of the situation. While there is interest in Ekitike from clubs across Europe, the player himself seems inclined towards making a move to the Premier League. Newcastle United is now looking to secure Ekitike's signature in the winter transfer window to strengthen their squad and provide additional firepower in their pursuit of success. Then Bruno Guimaraes, the Newcastle United midfielder, experienced a disastrous end to his 26th birthday as Brazil suffered a defeat in Colombia. Guimaraes started in Brazil's World Cup qualifier, playing alongside notable names such as Vinicius Jr., Alisson Becker, Rafinha, and Marquinhos. Despite a dream start with Gabriel Martinelli scoring early on, 2 late goals from Luis Diaz of Liverpool dashed Brazil's hopes, resulting in a heroic win for Colombia. This defeat pushed Brazil down to 5th place in South America's World Cup qualifying group. The outcome adds to Brazil's recent struggles in World Cup qualifiers, as they have now failed to secure a victory in their last 3 matches, including a 2-0 loss to Uruguay and a 1-1 draw with Venezuela during the October international break. While it was a disappointing night for Bruno Guimaraes, who couldn't make a significant impact in the match alongside Andre from Fluminense, Newcastle can breathe a sigh of relief as he emerged from the game unscathed. Guimaraes' teammate Jolinton was an unused substitute in the match. Looking ahead, Brazil faces a crucial showdown against table-topping Argentina in the early hours of next Wednesday morning, which promises to be a highly anticipated match. And then, finally, Eddie Howe, the mastermind behind Newcastle's resurgence, has made a crucial decision to tackle the injury crisis head-on ahead of Newcastle's clash with Chelsea. You won't believe what he's come up with. Click the video on your screen to find out.